Good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday. How are you on this Tuesday, the January 8th? Yeah, so the second, official Tuesday of 2019. How are you rising up this morning on this Tuesday in 2019? Kind of the first week. This is the week that really feels like it's the new year. Yeah, it feels like we're back to school, we're back to work, we're definitely in the new year now. Last week was sort of that gray space where people were still off work and it didn't really feel like the new year had started, but we're in it now, and we're in it. It's January 8th, and 2019 is here. We're just days away from Super Saturday. So let's talk about that. Let's dive into that. I know for so many of you, like me, kids went back to school today. Your high schoolers, your elementary, middle schoolers, everyone probably is back in school now. So it feels like you're back on track and you're kind of back in your groove. And maybe some of you are finding new rhythms and new grooves to be in, new morning routines and new habits to establish in 2019 to help you rise up. So before we talk about Super Saturday, let me share with you, I am reading a new book called Atomic Habits. I'm actually listening to it. And I also have the hard copy because I like to sometimes go back and highlight and write in it and take my notes. If you are looking for a book that's perfect for the new year, get this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. Follow him on social media. He's really great on Instagram. But it is a really amazing book about habits and the power of habits and how habit is really a misnomer. And I think that this is such a powerful concept to take into a new year because it's really not about our habits per se. We don't just decide we're going to have a new habit and it happens. It's really about new systems of implementation. It's really about new actions, and the actions lead to the new habit. We don't just decide today my habit's going to be I eat healthier and it happens. That's not how it works. We have these new systems. We have to create new systems of implementation, new actions, some behavioral change to even create the new habit. And so I'm loving this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. So if you're looking for something new, truly, I recommend it very highly. The audiobook is really awesome. I listen to it every morning when I'm getting ready and then again throughout the day. And it's just the perfect kind of book for a brand new year. Follow him on Instagram as well. So that being said, let's talk about habits. Before we talk about Super Saturday, let's talk about habits tying into tracking. For all the years that I've done personal development, and way back in the day, 10 and a half years ago when I started as a coach, the books that we read, that we recommended to everyone and that everyone read were either The Slight Edge or The Compound Effect. And these books, how many of you have read either one or both of those books? The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, I'm pretty sure, and then The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. How many of you have read either or one of those books in your lifetime, your lifespan as a coach? Probably a ton of people have read those books. We all kind of started with those two books, and they were very much about exactly what Darren Hardy's title is, The Compound Effect, the compound effect of small tweaks to daily behavior. And then what's so cool is, in the book that I'm listening to now, Atomic Habits, James Clear talks about that too. And he talks specifically about the British cycling team and how for years the British cycling team was sort of the laughing stock of the cycling world. So much so that bike vendors wouldn't even sell them a bike because they didn't want the British cycling team on their bikes because then they thought the public wouldn't buy them. So they were really the laughing stock of the professional cycling world. And they got a new coach. And when that new coach came in within 10 years, so like their first 5 and the next 5 were like a dynasty. Within 10 years, they had won, I think, 6 Tour de France's. They had won, I don't know how many Olympic gold medals. And it was this crazy turnaround in a period of 10 years. So it feels like it's overnight success, but we know it's not. That's not how it is. And how did it happen? By a series of very small tweaks and adjustments that this new coach made. Stuff that might seem not like it doesn't even pertain to cycling necessarily, like painting the inside of their equipment room stark white so that any little piece of dust or dirt that might get in that could affect the bike, they could see it very quickly. They hired a surgeon to teach the cyclists the best and most proper and most efficient way to wash their hands so that they could stay as germ-free as possible, stay as healthy as possible. Little teeny tiny tweaks that then over 10 years turned the British cycling team into a dynasty. That's what the compound effect is about. That's what Atomic Habits is about. And to me, that's what a new year is all about. Not giant overhauls, not complete lifestyle changes, but small, tiny tweaks that add up to what might be a lifestyle change at the end of 365 days. And that starts with professionally, as a coach, tracking on the business activity tracker. Whatever we want to change, adjust, tweak, establish a new habit, whatever we want to do in our lives, whether it's saving more money, my number one is becoming debt-free, enrolling more coaches on our team, helping our challengers get more results, getting better on social media, having a date night with our spouse, having more consistent time with our children. Whatever behavior that we want to shift or adjust or tweak or change, it will only happen if we track it. The only way we get better at saving money is tracking how we're spending our money. Makes sense, right? Well, if that makes sense with something like money, it makes also sense with something like fitness and health. The only way we get better at maybe losing weight or being more intentional with our nutrition is really tracking what we're eating. And as a fitness professional, that's always the first question I ask someone when they're like, I'm stuck on a plateau. I'm like, okay, you got to track your food for the next few days and let's see where you are. Immediately, we can almost 100% of the time find the issue in their food, but they've never tracked it. They don't even know. You don't know where your money goes unless you're tracking it. So any behavior that we want to tweak or change, get better at, we have to track. And that for us in this business, because we're all CEOs. We're all grown-up CEOs of a multi-million-dollar business. And if we want to tweak, change, adjust any habit that will result in change in our business, which will result in change in our life, we have to track it. And that's where this business activity tracker is. So you might have seen on Sunday in the Champions page, Carl Deichler, prior to speaking on the National Wake Up Call yesterday, talked about this because we're going to be talking about this at Super Saturday. This new Success Club system, this new business activity tracker. This is an updated business activity tracker. He dropped a link to this updated business activity tracker in the Champions page and suggested that every coach make 52 copies of it for 52 weeks of the year, bind it or 3-hole punch it and put it in a binder and start tracking. It took me all about 3 seconds to say to myself, if the CEO of Team Beachbody, who's pretty successful and as of yet hasn't steered me wrong and has completely and utterly changed my life with this business, if the CEO of Team Beachbody thinks a good idea would be to copy 52 sheets of the business activity tracker, one for every week, and bind it and track with it, I'm going to guess it's a good idea. So Sunday night, I sent that document to my UPS store, and yesterday I picked it up. A bound copy of 52 business activity trackers. Why? Because if I want something to change in my business, I have to track it. And last night, so my habit now is that I'm trying to establish, it's my routine and implementation so that I can establish a new habit. In the morning, I get up and I do these. I write in my Rachel Hollis journal, my goals and what I'm grateful for. So that keeps me on track because every time I write those 10 goals down and I talk about what I'm grateful for in this, it helps me align all my behavior with this, because the number one that I write down every single morning is I want to be debt free. So everything I do then the rest of the day, because I'm writing that down, first activity in the morning after my workout, when I'm writing that down, that means every day I'm reminded of that and my actions during the day can align with that. So I do this in the morning. Here, Mickey Minnie, I'm just going to sit that right there by you. And then I do this productivity. And so instead of having random notebooks and random legal pads of lists of stuff to do, I have this notebook that says productivity. And in it, I write down my most important, my second most important, my third most important tasks of the day. It's actually becoming, it's so amazing, you guys. It's actually becoming like a running list, so that if I miss something, I can go back and look. I haven't lost that piece of paper. It's right here in this notebook, and it's all right here. And then at the end of the week, there's an opportunity to sort of assess, like, did I get done what I needed to get done, and how can I get better? This is what I do in the morning. Last night when I picked up my 52 bound copies of the Business Activity Tracker, as our CEO, Carl Deichler, recommended that we do, before I went to bed last night, I just opened that up and I filled it out. And then I looked at it and I thought, gosh, I am not doing very good at recognition this week. Okay. I'm not doing very good at talking about meal prep this week. So I might not be aware of that if I'm not tracking it. It's just like we don't know how much we might be spending on Starbucks if we're not tracking it. Then all of a sudden we're not aligning with saving money, or in my case being debt free, because we're not tracking that we're spending that money at Starbucks. I'm not aware that I'm not doing a very good job with recognition until I'm seeing it here and I'm tracking it. So my routines that I'm establishing so that I can establish the habit. You don't establish the habit, you establish the routine and implement it to help you establish the habit. Is I'm doing these in the morning because this sets the tone for my day, and then this at night so that I can look back at my day. Did I get this done? If I didn't, then today I looked at that and went, okay, I got to do a better job with the recognition. So I have my alarm set for 10 a.m. today. And at 10 a.m., I'm going to go on my Instagram stories and share some befores and afters for Transformation Tuesday. That's recognition too. It doesn't just have to be rank recognition. So I just cannot stress enough to you that, number one, if the CEO, Team Beachbody, suggested this is a good idea, we should listen. You know, we should listen. And as a 10 and a half year, pretty veteran coach who's managed to create some amount of success, if I'm listening to the CEO and doing what he says and tracking, I would think every coach should. And I don't say that like, if I'm doing it, you should. I'm saying 10 and a half years into this business, the number one quality to continue to stay motivated, inspired, and to grow is to stay coachable. So if the CEO of this business is coaching me to get this tracker copied and bound, I better be listening. That's what's going to help me stay in growth mindset, in growth mode in this business. It's what's going to help me stay motivated and inspired, because now I have some ideas, even more what to do to help me get better. So that's that. And again, we're talking about this at Super Saturday. This is going to be in the Super Saturday video. So let's touch quickly on Super Saturday. I got to get off here before 10 because I got to do my Instagram stories. My alarm said so. That's another implementation. I'm using my alarm to help me establish new habits. So I hope my alarm on my phone doesn't go off before I'm done. But let's talk about Super Saturday really quick. So you might have tried to buy a ticket yesterday for general admission and it was sold out. Well, we added some more tickets today. But you know what's not sold out? VIP. And you guys, I don't know how many times I have to tell you this, especially for those of you that have been around and have been affected by Chalene Johnson's programs. She told me years and years and years ago, if there's a VIP option, you always buy it. I've always bought the VIP option, and there's never been one time in the years of my life that I've said, I wish I hadn't bought VIP. Not one time. It's a few dollars more, but the benefits are so exponential that it's crazy. You get Josh Coates, who'll be speaking to the masses on Saturday. You get him in a small room, one-on-one, with a completely separate topic and talk, and the opportunity for it to be Q&A and very intimate. You've got a specific question about your business, you're gonna be able to raise your hand and ask him about that. That is, you can't put a price on that kind of mentorship, especially at the beginning of the year. So dive into that VIP and understand that when you buy that ticket, that's for Friday and Saturday. Dudes, like, it's such a no-brainer. Literally, it's such a no-brainer. And honestly, I'm going to say this, and this might be a Tuesday truth bomb. If you're not willing to invest $50 in your business, your multi-million-dollar business, if you're not willing to invest $50 in your multi-million-dollar business, it's going to be really tough for you to grow a multi-million-dollar business. Notice I said 50. I didn't say if you're not willing to invest $5,000. We don't have to do that here. We don't have to keep inventory. Thank you, Team Beachbody. But if you are not willing to invest $50 into a business that can literally make you a multimillionaire, and guess what? It's okay to make money. Then you're probably not going to grow a business that's a multi-million-dollar business. It just is what it's just fact. So be willing to invest, because it's not just an investment in your business, it's an investment in you. And if you're from out of town and for whatever reason can't get to that VIP night, we just opened up 100 more tickets for Saturday during the day. Get in that room. We have an incredible morning lined up for you. First of all, the corporate video will be off the hook because there's going to be all kinds of announcements. We've got a really cool activity for you to do centered around the theme of Rise Up. Josh Coates is going to blow the roof off the place, and then we get to do Transform 20 together. Are you kidding me? Who doesn't want to be in that room? And don't tell me, please, well, my child has basketball practice. Guess what? There'll be another basketball practice, and you being in that room on Saturday morning might just put you in the position to hear the thing that is the catalyst for your business this year, where then you can pay for your kid to be on that basketball travel team because of what you learned Saturday morning. And my team, you guys know, you can't talk to a mom who's been busier with their children doing high level, expensive activities with a spouse who's gone all the time more than me. So that bullshit about, well, I can't miss my child's practice does not hold water with me. You just can't play. I am not here to play that game with you. You've got to be in the room for Super Saturday. And if you're not in the Indiana market and it's Super Sunday, you got to be in that room too. Whatever your market is, you have to be. This event could set the tone for the rest of your year. And if you want to rise up in 2019, you got to get in the room where it happens. You just do. So Sparta Nation, I encourage you to do a couple actions today. One, I highly encourage you to get the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. So awesome. And to start thinking about habits, not as habits the end goal, but as the implementation and the actions that then create the new habits. That's number one. Number two, go to the Champions page, click that link, download this tracker and copy it. I sent mine to my UPS store because I wanted it bound. But you know what? You can make 52 copies in your printer at home, 3-hole punch them and put them in a binder. The point of having this and not just one sheet every week is that it's done. Let's be efficient here, people. And let's not leave room to slack off. Let's not leave an option to do less or take the easy way out. Let's just have it done, okay? So make the 52 copies however you want to make them and start tracking. You want to see changes in your business? Start tracking. Then you can even bring this to Super Saturday. You could bring this to Super Saturday because then we're going to talk about it in that corporate video and you can have it to be looking at, which would be super cool. Get your ticket to your super weekend event, wherever it is. If you're here in Indiana, we want to see you at that VIP event and we want to see you Saturday morning. If you've made a vision board, we'd love for you to bring that because we're going to take your picture with it. So if you've made a vision board, bring it. Also, bring your step because we're doing the Transform 20 workout. Yeah, you're going to come in carrying a step and a vision board and your trackers and a notebook and a pencil and a shaker cup and some Energize and some water and a towel. You can come in bringing all the things. That's okay. Being in that room on Saturday could change the trajectory of your business, but you never know unless you get in the room where it happens. So get the book, get the tracker, get your tickets, and get ready to rise up. I just have this feeling that 2019 is going to be amazing, but only you can make that choice. And then you got to take the action to back it up. All right. I hope to see you all this weekend. Please let me know if you have any questions about Super Saturday or where to find the tracker or anything else. And let's rise up in 2019. Talk to you soon.